Welcome to Finding the Sweet Spot, where faith meets the paddle. My name is Cory Wise, and I'm your host. Today we'll be looking at Diadem's new paddle, the Warrior Blue Core.
I say out of all the paddles, first of all, if I had to rank any of them, the Carbon being at the very bottom with the blue Diadem Blue Core at the very top.
What was your take on the paddles?
Well, the Selkirk, I like it. It's pretty lightweight. It has good grip on it. It's easy to swing with. I don't really have to manhandle it too much. It pretty much does the work for you.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you like the Selkirk overall better than the other two?
I actually do.
When I first played with the Carbon 1 True Form, I thought I didn't like it. I thought I didn't like it at all. But then today, after hitting with 3 different foam core paddles, it's just that it's different, and I just wasn't used to it. So after hitting with all 3 of them, I actually did end up liking the Carbon 1. It's got some good power. I actually liked all 3 of them because they all have nice solid feel to them. It almost feels like there's less dead spots, especially if you don't hit the sweet spot. And a few of them, I felt the sweet spot was like lower toward the handle. And they had some really solid hits. I ended up liking them.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things they say about the foam core is that it's more consistent.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what we're talking about, more consistent throughout the paddle. So if you had to pick one today, would you pick the Carbon, which you didn't think you liked?
I'd probably pick
Out here with Skills and Drills today, sweating with the oldies for sure. We're having a lot of fun and had an opportunity to play with a couple of foam core paddles. We've got the new Diadem that's dropping, and so we've had a couple of these out here today, 14, 16, and the 19 millimeter. So I will have you speak to, because you played with all 3 sizes, correct?
That's right.
Yeah, and then also we've had the True Foam from Carbon, and then the 008 from Selkirk Labs. And so after playing with these, what did you like?
Well, I really like the fact that it took very little effort to hit a good shot with the Diadems. I found that true with every one of them. Backhand, forehand, they really felt good. Serves were really good. With this one, what is this, the 14? Serves were really, really good. I felt like right on, spot on where I was trying to hit them. The Carbon felt the same way, except it felt like it had more power, and I had to dial it back a little bit. These I didn't have to dial back, just without any thinking, got it right where I wanted. I didn't hit one bad shot with it. It felt like I missed the center, so that tells me that the sweet spot is bigger.
Well, if you didn't hit one bad shot, you better buy a box of those.
That's right, I sure should. I'm already thinking, I wonder how much this will run. Very accurate. I really liked it. I felt the Selkirk was very similar to the Diadem. I would say the same things about that, although I didn't notice serving with the Selkirk, the quality serves that I was hitting with the Diadem. The Carbon I liked the feel, again, very similar. Felt like it took very little effort. It had more power. I noticed I was hitting it farther with the Carbon, and I had to back off a little bit. So if you're looking for pure power with a soft feel, the Carbon would be, to me, more deliverable with that, but I really like these Diadems. I'm not thinking I need to buy a Carbon. I'm thinking
The Diadem.
This Diadem.
I would definitely go for the foam Diadem. It felt very forgiving with a lot of control, good power. If I was going to rate them from best to worst, I'd definitely put the Diadem, 3 different Diadems at all at number 1, and with the Carbon, which did have more power, I felt it wasn't as easily controllable. The ball wasn't easily controllable as the Diadem, and the Selkirk was still very good, but that would still be my 3rd choice. I'm a player where I need lots of control and need to be able to have accuracy, so if I would definitely buy one, it would be the Diadem.
At the heart of this paddle is a closed-celled expanded polypropylene construction of foam. Think of it like cells in your body, all of these little circular cells, and then they're laid out together, and in the middle of this heat transfer, this mold, they're bonded together to create the core. This core, they're so impressed with, they give a lifetime warranty on. You won't crush it, they say. It's an uncrushable core. Now, when you start talking about a paddle that's $279, when you're thinking about longevity, you're thinking about allowing my dollars to go as far as possible. So if we're not having a lot of dead spots appear like we've had with other paddles, then the idea of paying maybe more than what you have been, or paying as much for a paddle that's going to last longer, can be quite enticing. Like I've mentioned before, the face of the material is made with a carbon and a Kevlar weave. It is gritty, it should be long lasting, but it may not have quite as much spin on it as the carbon or the 008. And again, it depends on what all you're playing with. There's different shapes. For me, for our group who were out playing that day, we only played with the Pro, the elongated version. The elongated version is a 16.4 inch by a 7.5 inch wide paddle. And it gives you that extra reach that you may need on those shots. Of course, the elongated is going to give you a little bit more power over the standard and the hybrid models. So when you're looking at the different versions, you might want to take those into consideration. So average weight about 8.25 ounces, which to me is a good weight. When I start pushing 8.5 or more, that's usually where I'm having a little bit of trouble, maybe with my elbow feeling it or my shoulder feeling the weight a little bit. And I find this, even though it's elongated, not to be head heavy. And so again, I've gone out since then and I've played with this paddle quite a bit, and I'm not having the issue with my elbow arise like it has with other paddles, because of the foam core and its absorbing nature, and the weight of the paddle fits me well. The idea that this paddle is plush is probably because it's quieter. It doesn't have the thud that a lot of the polypropylene paddles have, because the foam core is more dense. And so when we talk about this paddle, and Dan talked about it as well, it just seems to play in a plush way where you have control, where you can have those finesse shots while still gaining plenty of power. The world says that winning is everything. And as we're talking about with Christianity, it's not just about winning, it's about competing in such a way that you would get the prize. That means competing with excellence, with integrity, with compassion. Now, I don't have a lot of compassion on the court whenever I'm playing. My wife tells me about that sometimes. I get pretty intense because I'm competitive and I'm trying to play to win. And so we run as in a way to get the prize. We play in as a way to win. But we play with integrity. I'm not calling shots out that are in. We're not cheating to win. Why? Because we're warriors. Now, whether you play with a warrior or not, we're warriors if we're in Christ. And we're warriors in training. So hopefully you're training in your pickleball and you're training in your faith. You're growing in both. So play with excellence. Compete with integrity. And make sure you serve both on and off the court in love. Until next time, be blessed and be a blessing. Again, a big thanks to Heritage Creek for sponsoring this podcast and for being great folks all the way around. If you're interested in pickleball and other clothing items, you need to come check out the store. Remember, you can use the promo code below. Just tell them, hey, I've been watching Sweet Spot and I'd like to get a discount on whatever it is that you're purchasing. Maybe you're interested in the new Diadem Blue Core. Whatever your need for pickleball and more, come check out Heritage Creek in Thomasville, Georgia. So if you had to pick one today, would you pick the carbon, which you didn't think you liked?
I'd probably pick the diadem first,
Okay.
and the carbon second, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Selkirk third.
All right.